actually can't fit all of this in the frame because this horn is so long. Hey YouTube, welcome back to another video. I'm just very slightly sick, just enough to feel not great, but well enough to play some stupid notes on my new G bass trombone. Yes, this is a G bass, and no, it does not fit in the frame very easily because it is quite long. This is it resting on a floor, for instance. A tenor trombone would be out of frame. My F contra is like here, if that's any reference. This is a long trombone. So yes, this is a G bass trombone. It is not in B flat, it's in G. It is 3 half steps longer. This is a Boozy & Hawkes Imperial. It's got this cool stamp. I think, I have not checked the serial number yet, but the previous owner told me it's from the 70s, which is kind of around the last ones made. And it makes sense. This one is in quite good condition for a G bass, and it has fully chrome plated and drawn inner slide. A lot of the earlier ones had soldered on stockings, maybe they weren't chrome plated, etc. This kind of has all the modern accoutrements that you would expect from a mid-century trombone, except of course that it's in G and it has no valve. Yeah, these things are very silly. Slight, that doesn't really make sense. Short history lesson on the G bass. This was the predominant bass trombone in France, but mostly England from kind of the 1800s until the mid-20th century, so kind of 150-ish years. Why they chose G? I don't know. Why not? There are F bass trombones out there. Those are really long. Like, yes, this is long, but it is wieldy in a way that an F bass is kind of not wieldy. And valves didn't exist for a long time, and so B flat F bass trombone just wasn't an option. So this gives you a more chromatic range down to low D flat. You heard me play a couple of those ish, and is playable by humans. There are downsides if you want to play, for example, a G at the bottom of the bass clef to an A flat. You have to move the slide approximately 1 kilometer to get to that A flat. And so if you'll notice in Ray Vaughan Williams music, in Elgar, there's not a lot of stuff like that because you don't want your players going yep, to go from first to seventh position. Later in British orchestras, they started using G/D bass trombone, so they have the D valve. You might have seen my video. It's a short on YouTube where I play one of those models. Those are awesome. And they also have a C extension that puts the valve in C. You can play even lower because, of course, the range is not chromatic with this, obviously, and with the GD instrument, it's still not chromatic. Like playing low B flats and stuff, not an easy thing. That note is way out there. Pedal B flats on a normal bass trombone, just first position. But on this, with a D valve, that is in 6th position. With the D valve, it is a stuffy, a lot of tubing you have to play through to get to that note. So you're noticing a lot of downsides to the G bass trombone. These kind of hung on because Britain had a rule about importing instruments from other countries up until like the 60s or 70s, maybe late 50s. And so orchestras just had nothing else to play. This was kind of the only thing they could get. This particular model, the Imperial, this is 484, so really tiny. Obviously, it's small chink. I'm using my 3G at the moment with a 7.5-inch bell. These were used in brass bands up until like the 70s. The larger ones, the Betty model, those are 525 with an 8-inch bell, and usually with the D attachment. Those were used in orchestras, so just a little bit bigger sound. Those play and sound great. They're not a modern bass trombone sound by any means, but they have this really cool character to it. You can play them just like louder than you could possibly imagine. These also play really loud with a bit different character, a little more of like a sheet metal tearing sound. This horn is great, but, and I think the Betty model has the same problems. They have German trombone tendencies just due to the tapers of the instrument. The third partial, so on this it's a D in the staff, is quite flat. And the fifth partial, which is a B on this instrument, is quite sharp. So the opposite of what they usually are. I'm going to take a long time to figure that out. I can't like read music on this or anything. I just got it. I've had no time to play it. But anyway, that's my G bass. We'll see if I do some more cool stuff. I also got 2 valves and some wrap tubing. Maybe I could put valves on it. I don't know. I would like to hold out for a Betty model. Well, that's the larger bore version, the larger bell. They are super cool, but also really rare. They did not make many of them. There are not that many British orchestras. And kind of by the time they had really perfected those, they were using cons. They were using kind of real instruments. So that's my new G bass. I also got a new large bore tenor today. And that is this. You might recognize it if you're very acute. This is a Y-Fort YSL 763G. Yeah, thought I'd pick up one of these. I reviewed them at NAMM last year, and then I've played my friends. I think I did a video review of it recently, as in not recently, like a year ago. And yeah, I really like these things. And at the time, I was like, should I get one of those? I kind of like my box, blah, blah, blah. I just ended up getting one because I do love my Bach, but I don't want to cut those bells, and I don't want to buy a screw bell case. And this does slightly different things. These are a ground-up design from China. Every part on this has been designed for this instrument. It is not a copy of anything. There's obviously influences from American horns, but this is ground up a design for Y-Fort. And it's really, really good. I'll have lots more about it later. I'm not going to play it now because my body is telling me to stop being awake. But these have a really good valve. They've got good slides. It has a screw bell. The screw bell is not perfect on this. We'll see about it. It took me 35 minutes to get the bell on. Let's just leave it at that. And I have an idea of what it might be, but we'll see. I got the version that has a gold tuning slide and a gold bell. Honestly, I'm fine with that. I'm not that picky. This is going to be a great travel horn, a great quintet horn, stuff for smaller ensembles where I don't need to make quite as much noise. And it's just really easy to play, and it has this great color to it. It's awesome. I still love my Bach. I'm using the Hagman valve with a yellow bell. That's really cool, but it's a little big, a little thunderous for some things. And this isn't quite that way. And it's in a way that I really like. So, very excited about this. Of course, the best part about it is that I get basically a free Marcus Bonnet case. No, this is not a Marcus Bonnet case, but it is the same quality as far as I can tell, and it does all the same things. You know, it holds this screw bell instrument. So I basically got a $700 case. Again, not a real Bonnet, but I basically got one of those for free with a really good instrument. So, double whammy. I now have a travel instrument with a case that I really like. Yeah, super exciting. That's all I got for now. I will see you again when I'm probably not sick. And have a nice day. Bye.